Hello, today we're going to be talking about slurs, something that you might know on the guitar as hammer-ons or pull-offs. A slur is essentially a smooth connection between two or more notes. On the guitar, that means the right hand plays the first note, like this, but then isn't used for the second note, like that. So, we have two types of slurs on our guitar. We have ascending slurs that sound like this, and descending slurs that sound like this. You might know these, as we said earlier, as either hammer-ons or pull-offs. Which one's which? The hammer-on is the ascending slur, the first one that we played. So these are our hammer-ons. Our descending slur is our pull-off and sounds like this. Now, you might immediately notice this creates a strong, weak sound because the first note that is played with the right hand is strong, and then the second note that's played with the left hand is naturally weaker because obviously you're not playing it with this hand. Now, this allows us to phrase our music very differently, just like we might be able to phrase our sentences differently. Now, let's break that down into a little bit more detail. What are we actually doing with each of those things? First, let's look at hammer-ons. So, as we mentioned before, the first note is obviously being played by our right hand, but the next note is being created by hammering on, this is why it's called that, this finger onto the next fret, so that one creates the note on its own. So I'll show you that one more time. What we need to make sure we're doing when we're hammering down is making sure you're clearly striking the string just behind the fret, just like where you play any other note. But the key is making sure you do the hammer on fast. Speed is the key. Going from here, a very big distance away, isn't going to matter, especially if you do it slow. So you're going to want to be no more than an inch away from your fretboard with this finger here. And the key is, as we said, being fast. So let me show you that now. Here is with a fast finger. A nice, clear, naturally weaker sounding, but much stronger hammer-on note than if I did it slower. Now listen to if I do it slowly. Next, the no note that's created. So the key to having nice, strong sounding hammer-ons is making sure you do this hammer-on action fast onto the guitar fretboard. Now, let's talk about our pull-offs. The biggest single mistake I see with people doing pull-offs is that they think it's just the opposite of a hammer-on. Now, whilst it's very similar, there's a key difference. Let's set up like it was just the opposite of one of our hammer-ons. This time, obviously rather than having our finger off the fingerboard ready to press down or hammer on, we're going to need to have both fingers down. So I've got my second and first finger down, ready to do a pull-off. But listen to what happens if I just do the opposite of a hammer-on and just lift my finger off. The note all but disappears. Now I'll play it really loud for the first one so you can hear how much it disappears. You basically can't hear the second note at all. It's not just a simple case of lifting that second finger off the string. It's called a pull off for a reason. You are physically pulling the string and your finger pulls off it. So that is the sound that we're looking for, okay? So you're going to play the first note as normal, but then this finger here, the second one, is going to pull downwards towards the floor, keeping your first finger intact where it was, and you should hear an audible click. So that's how you know if you're doing it right, okay? So don't think that's wrong. If you are playing your pull-offs and you can hear that click as you come off the string, that's good. Now this one's a little bit more difficult. You're going to need a little bit more time practicing it. But we've got things, just like we had with the previous exercises, that we can use for our pull-offs as well.